Welcome to this 20-minute chair exercise class. This class is suitable for people of all levels, and you can take your time and go at your own pace. So it's really important that you notice how you're feeling as we move through the exercises and do just as much as feels right for your body. If anything feels like it's too much, you can stop at any time. So if you start to feel pain or discomfort, or you have an injury or an old injury that feels like it's playing up or being bothered, you slow down or stop, take a break. If you need to finish before the end of the class or do less of each exercise, absolutely do that. It's important that you take care of yourself as we move through this class today. So welcome to your class. My name is Paula Mitten, and we are going to do some gentle exercise from the chair. You'll be able to stay seated for the entire class. So make sure that you're in a nice, comfortable chair, that you're supported and you're upright. Your feet are flat, shoulders rolling back, and sitting tall. And then as part of the class, we are using some equipment today. So I have a little light hand weight. It's a 0.5 kg, a 0.5, so half a kg, which is about, which is like 500 grams or 1.1 pounds, I think. And if you don't have a hand weight, you can use a tin of peas or beans or something like that. This is 400 grams, so slightly lighter than my hand weight. And of course, you don't have to use a weight at all. You can do the exercises without any equipment, okay? So if you're newer to doing exercises like this, start without a weight. And then if that feels okay and you feel well the next day, you don't feel too sore, then you can add in a weight the next time, okay? So we'll start off by warming up the body. So we're going to start with the shoulders. You're going to start to roll your shoulders like this. So start to move the shoulders, roll them out. Make that movement as big as you can. So you're really starting to loosen up the shoulders. And when we're sitting a lot, the shoulders can get quite stiff. So you're just trying to loosen them out, get them moving again. And now we're going back the opposite direction. All the time, just noticing, how does that feel? Does it feel good? Could I go a little bit bigger? And then relaxing those arms back down. We're going to swing the arms over and back across the chest. Just start to warm up a little bit more into the shoulder, now down into the elbow, okay, into the chest, a little bit into the back as well, top of the back. And relax. And now from here, the shoulders squeeze up to the ears, and then let them fall back down. So you're squeezing the shoulders up and letting them fall. And again, squeezing up and letting them fall. One more time like that, squeeze and let them fall. Bring your hands in front, interlace your fingers and roll out the wrists. So it's like you're wriggling the hands around, drawing a circle or a figure eight with the hands. If you find it hard to interlace the fingers, you can do it like this, like you're washing your hands, okay? So either way works. And then we'll take those arms out in front, elbow straight, and imagine you're stirring a big pot. And you want that movement to be nice and big. And notice how I'm moving my whole upper body. So I'm getting right down into the hips. It's not just in the arms. My whole upper body is working. And now circle the opposite direction. So imagine stirring a big pot and you're getting right out to the edges, nothing sticking. And then all the way back into the middle. And now up and down with those arms like you're chopping wood. Make it light. So we're not working too hard, just nice and easy, up and down, just as high as you can go. So notice how your shoulders feel. If there's any injuries in the shoulders, one or both, you might go a little bit lower, or you might have to do one arm rather than the two together, okay? And then we'll release those arms down. So let's pick up one leg, swing it in and out, loosen out the knee. So we're starting to release right into the knee joint. My knees are clicking. That's normal. It's normal to hear clicks and cracks in your joints. If they hurt, that's different. But if they don't, you don't feel anything, you just hear them making noise, that's normal. Right, let's do the other leg. Swing it in and out, loosen out that knee. One side of your body can feel completely different to the other. So one knee might feel different to the other. And that's also normal, right? We have different things going on. We definitely have imbalances in the body. Nobody is perfectly even on both sides. Okay, let that leg relax, and then we're going to circle the ankle. So back to the first foot, circle out the ankle. Try to make that action right down in the ankle joint, so you're not circling the leg. Keep the leg steady, move the foot, and back the opposite way. Really important that we keep our ankles and our feet mobile. So that we can walk and move about much more easily. We're better balanced, less likely to fall or trip. Let's do the other foot. Circle it out. And again, focus on moving your foot rather than the whole leg, right? Let that movement happen right into the ankle joint. And then we go back the opposite direction. That's it. And then you can release that foot down. So get yourself sitting upright again. Sometimes as you do a few exercises, you might find you start to slouch down in the chair. So you see, can you sit up nice and tall again? Gently, you're drawing the tummy muscles back towards the spine. So we're keeping this gentle tone in the abdominals as much as we can throughout the class, okay? You'll have to keep bringing your attention back to it. Sometimes it's hard to find that connection with the core, but the more we practice, the better we get at it. So keep thinking about tummy muscles drawing in. We'll bring those hands out in front and we'll start to move them from side to side. So we're getting a little bit more into the elbows now. Starting to loosen up that little bit more, build a little bit of heat in the body. Right? You might feel like your heart rate is coming up a little bit now. And then coming back into the middle, swing your arms like you're marching. Bending and straightening at the elbow. So one elbow bends, then the other. You're switching from side to side. And from here, we're going to reach out in front and pull back. Like you're grabbing something that's out in front of you, pulling it back in towards you. And then do the same thing overhead. And just see how high up you can reach. Again, one arm might go up, the other won't. That's okay. You can do one side on its own, or you can go a little bit lower if you need to. So you look after your body as we go along. And then we let those arms relax down. So let's start to march the legs. And as you march the legs, cross your arms like you're walking, the way you would if you're out for a nice brisk walk. Okay, get those legs going. Really try to lift the foot, lift the leg up. So we're not dragging the feet. And we'll keep that going now for another 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then coming right back down, okay? So let's come to the feet. They're flat on the floor, okay? And we're coming into a calf raise. So you're going to keep your toes on the floor. Lift your heels up as high as they'll go, and then place them back down. Do that again. Lift the heels up, and now put them down. And again, lift up and down, up and down. 6 more. 1 and down. 2 and down. 3 and down. 4 and down. 5 and down. Last one. 6 and down. Very good. And this time, you're going to lift the toes. So your heels stay on the floor. The toes lift up, and then the toes go back down. So do that again. Toes lift up, toes back down. And again, lift those toes, keep the heels on the floor, put your toes back down. And again, toes up and down. Give me 6 more. 1 and down. 2 and down. 3 and down. 4 and down. 5 and down. 6 and down. Very good. Okay, let's give those legs a little rest. And we're going to, if you like, use the light hand weight, okay? You can use the tin of peas if you like, or you can make a fist and as though you're holding something in the hand, but we're not using any weight at all. So you know how your body's feeling today. Might be that you haven't done any exercise in a long time, or maybe you've got a little injury going on, or you're not feeling 100% today, then no weight, okay? And if you're feeling good, you want to add some weight, decide how much is enough. We never want to lift too heavy, okay? So it should feel like it's a little bit of a challenge, but not too much, okay? So I'm using this light dumbbell like I showed you at the start of the class. It's a half a kg or 500 grams, okay? So we'll start the weight in the right hand. You're going to have your palm facing in towards the side of your leg. Your elbows are straight and they stay in by your sides. And then you bend your elbow to bring the weight up by your shoulder. You straighten the elbow to bring the weight back down by your side. Do that again. Bend the elbow, bring that weight up to the shoulder and straighten all the way back down. Keep your elbow tucked in. We'll do it again. That's 3 and back down. 4 and down. We're aiming for 10. 5 and down. 6. And if you need to stop before we get to 10, absolutely. That's 7. 8. We've 2 more. Can you do 2 more? And the last one, up and down. Excellent. So we pop the weight into the other hand. You might be holding your tin. You might be holding nothing, just making a fist. Okay. Keep the elbow in by the side. The upper body stays nice and steady. You bend the elbow until the weight comes up to the shoulder. And then you straighten all the way down, fully straight. Don't stop until the arm comes right down by your side. So you're bending and straightening. That's 2. So bend and straighten. We're at 3. We're going for 10. So 4 and down. Keep everything else nice and steady. 5 and down. 6 and down. The elbow stays in by the sides. 7 and down. And just see, can we get to 10? We've 2 more to go. That's it. And the last one, all the way up, all the way back down, and relax. Very good. So now we're going to take the weight between the 2 hands. So if you're using your tin, you're holding it like this. And if you're not using anything, you're going to clasp your fingers together like we did in our warm-up. So we get the hands up overhead. Okay, I'm going to turn sideways so you can see what it looks like. You can stay where you are. You don't need to move, okay? So from the side view, my arms are up in the air, okay? I'm holding the weight over my head. Bend your elbows so that weight or the hands come back behind your head, like they're going towards the back of the chair. And then all the way back up overhead again, right? So we bend the elbows, the arms go back behind the head, and then you send that weight or those hands up towards the ceiling. That's 2. Bend and straighten. 3. We're going for 8 with this one. Bend and straighten. 4. And again. That's 5. Just 3 more. Bend and straighten. That's 6. And again. 7. And 1 more. Bend and straighten. That's 8. And bring the arms all the way back down. Very good. So either taking your weight or your can or your fist in the right hand, straight out in front. Notice my knuckles and elbow and shoulder are all in a straight line. If I go from a side view, you'll see it's all in a straight line here, right? The arm is straight out in front. Now you're pulling back and you're keeping that elbow high to bring the weight in towards your shoulder. And then you're going straight back out with the knuckles, everything in line. I do that again. Pull back, keep the elbow high, and then go straight out in front, keeping everything in line. So 3, pull it back and go out. And again, 4 and out. Keep your torso steady. 5 and out. 6 and out. Just to 8. 7 and one more big pull. 8 and out. Bring your arm back down. Swap the weight over if you're using it. Give that shoulder a little roll out. And you're going to do the exact same thing with the left hand. So you bring your arm up, get it in line with the shoulder. Think knuckles, elbow, shoulder in a straight line. Pull the tummy muscles back towards the spine so you're sitting nice and tall. As you bend your elbow, the weight comes back to the shoulder. That elbow stays high. And then you go straight back out, keeping the alignment. So pull back, keep your elbow up, and then go straight out in front. And again, pull that elbow back and out. Now 4 and out. And again, 5 and out. 6 and out. 7 and out. 8 and out, and bring the arm all the way down. Excellent stuff. So we have time for one more. So we're going to have the weight in the right hand, okay? And you're going to keep a little bend. If I go that way, you'll see it's a very small bend in the elbow, okay? That's straight. That's a little bend in the elbow, okay? I keep my tummy muscles drawing in. I keep myself nice and tall in my seat. And then that right arm goes out to the side in line with the shoulder and back down by your side. So remember, you can put the weight down if it feels too heavy, okay, and do it with nothing in the hand. This one's a challenging one. Do that again. Bring it out to the side and slowly back down. And again, up to shoulder height and back down. That's 3. 4, out to the side and back down. 5, out to the side and back down. 6, out and down. 7, take it out to the side and then bring it back down. Last one. 8, take it out to the side, bring it all the way back down and switch to the other hand. So you've got it in the left hand, little bend in the elbow, remember? So that's straight, that's a little bend. We're keeping that bend, okay? To keep yourself nice and tall, think about the tummy. And we lift the weight out to the side and bring it back down. 2 and down. And again, 3 and down. We're trying to keep everything else steady. 4 and down. 5 and down. 6 and down. 2 more like that. 7 and down. And the last one, 8 and down. Very good. Now we're going to pop that weight down. If you're using one, just put it onto the floor, put it in out of your way. So when you get up, you're not going to trip over it. And then we're going to stretch out the upper body. So first thing you're going to do is take the hands together and send your knuckles straight out in front of you. Right now you want to push out into the knuckles. So you start to round into the top of the back. If I turn sideways, you're going to see that a bit better. So you stay where you are. Just have a look. I'm rounding into the top of the back. And then bring your chin down onto your chest. You're looking down towards your thighs or your knees. And you're stretching the top of your back. And you hold it there and take a few slow breaths. Right, I'm going to face you again. Now you're taking those arms all the way up overhead, just as high as you can go. And you can straighten up the head and the neck. So you're sitting tall. And you bring those arms just as far back as they will go, just as straight as you can, like you're sending the knuckles up towards the ceiling. And we're going to take the arms out and down. And now you have a few options. You can hold on to the sides of your chair here, and roll your shoulders back, roll your chest. So you're really stretching right across here, across the collarbones. Or if the hands will come together, and let me turn so you can see that, you stay where you are. But if I go sideways, you can see I can interlace the fingers and start to stretch back with those arms. So I get that same effect, but you don't have to. You can hold the sides of your chair and get that same stretch. It just depends on what you need, what feels best for you. Sometimes we go to do something, it doesn't work, right? It feels like it's too much. So you decide. And then release the hands when you're ready. Bring them back onto your lap. We'll take the right arm up and over the side of the head and really stretch across. Think about stretching all along the right side from your hip to your fingertips. And then when you're ready, you can come up and over to the other side. So right hand goes onto the lap, left arm goes up over the head, and side bend, reach across, stretch that entire left side body. And when you're ready, you're coming up, all the way up. Release the hand, back onto the lap. Excellent stuff. So that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed your session. We will continue on. I'm here 3 times a week and focusing on different areas. Sometimes we're fully seated, sometimes we'll stand and hold on to the chair. So there's lots of different options for you to choose from. And I hope to see you again very soon. Thank you very much. Well done.